here today with Dusty Lloyd, a premier consultant and mortgage advisor in the local area of Southern California. Our topic today is reverse mortgages. Hi, Dusty. How are you?
Hey, Judy. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Back in the 70s and 80s, it had a bad reputation because it was a bad product. That product is essentially dead. You got to think that Congress, the FHA, HUD all worked really hard in order to make sure there's strong consumer protection for the reverse mortgage. The seniors in America are the biggest lobby. They have a lot of power in order to make sure that there's no funny business. That's why we have cooling off periods. You own your house. The reverse mortgage is just a lien on the house now. All that was done in the past is in the past. So what a lot of people are doing is they're not even taking any money out on the reverse mortgage. You think of it as, well, I'm going to get a check every month. But if you don't need a check every month, let's just set up a line of credit. Let's plan in your 60s for what's going to happen in your 80s. And that's what's going to make the difference for you. Talking about a reverse mortgage is getting an education about what it is now, as opposed to what somebody told you about the product in the 70s and 80s.
That's great to know. Thank you.
Yeah. Can you go out and buy dinner with your home?
No.
No. You can definitely go take money out of your brokerage account and spend it, even if it's $10. And that's the problem as you grow older, is that brokerage account money is available. It's to be used. Your home equity does nothing for you. And that's what the reverse mortgage is there to do, is really unlock that home equity so that when there's a gap between what you planned for and what you have, we're able to bridge that with your home equity. Most people thought that you'd get a gold watch when you retired and you'd pay off your house and you were at the top of the mountain. But now, 20 years later, maybe you don't have enough money to pay the groceries.
Right.
You don't have enough money to pay for a car payment or a bill that comes up. You're untap your home equity in order to get access to that.
Right.
You own the property. You
Okay.
have title to the property. You just put a lien on the house. Just like when you get a first mortgage, they put a lien to secure the property to the loan. It's the same thing with a reverse mortgage. The difference between a forward mortgage and a reverse mortgage is that you can make a mortgage payment on a reverse, or you could not make a mortgage payment on a reverse. And if you don't make a mortgage payment on the reverse, the balance goes up over time, as opposed to you having to make the payment to lower the balance. She wanted a smaller home and a bigger life without getting the portfolio that she'd been spending decades putting into her retirement account. And that's one thing you got to think about. How much money is in that retirement account? How long is it going to last? You may have thought when you were working in your 50s that you were going to be gone in your 70s. What if you're in your 90s? So This client, she had a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, raised her family there. It was just too much. We helped her get a 2-bedroom, 2-bath in a 55 and older community. And rather than take the money out of her brokerage account, pay tax on that money, she's able to now get a reverse mortgage, not have a mortgage payment, and that brokerage account will grow. And when I talk to every financial advisor, they say, you're going to make more money in the market than you're going to build an interest on your mortgage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it is a myth that you have to be broke in order to get a reverse mortgage or need a reverse mortgage. There's this idea that it's expensive to close on a reverse mortgage. It's not cheap. Everybody who's working for you is making money. But what the benefit is that if you're not broke, using it as a financial tool, leveraging your home equity in order to make that brokerage account, your IRA, all those things that you plan for and save for last longer. So let me give you an example. Let's say the S&P 500 is down 10% this year. What's happening this year? But if you have that down market, rather than sell into a down market, borrow against your home equity into the reverse mortgage, pull out of that line of credit, and then next year, when the S&P 500 is back up, then take some of that stock out and you can pay off the reverse mortgage line of credit. A lot of people in the United States that are living paycheck to paycheck, they thought that they were going to go on vacation when they retired, and now they're barely able to pay for groceries.
Right.
There's a plaque on the wall that says, I paid off my house. But you can't spend that. You can't take that down to Walmart, buy groceries. I don't think that $1,200 a month would
cover
be
anything.
enough to cover for taxes and insurance and groceries. So the first thing I do is I talk with their financial advisor and ask them, how much money will they need? And if they've got that much equity in their property, let's look at getting a line of credit against the house, a reverse mortgage line of credit, and we'll pay off all their credit card debt, and we'll have that buffer when they have that year where the car breaks down and they need to spend $3,000 getting it fixed and new tires. Let's access that home equity in order to bridge that gap between what they need and what they have available.
Right.
There's a reason financial planners stop whispering about this product. It's completely rebuilt around protecting you. So groups like AARP and Normala, the Reverse Mortgage Lending Association, have put in strong consumer protection. So if you start with that as kind of a baseline and know that it's no longer your grandpa's reverse mortgage for people who have a need and need their home equity to fill that gap. And so when we talk to a financial advisor and they say your 401k is likely only to last you to 78 and you're likely going to live to 92, let's get in there and find that money to bridge that gap. And so if we open a line of credit, when those unexpected bills come, you've got an extra few years using your home equity as opposed to drawing off of your retirement account.
I see.
Well, I think there were commercials for a reverse mortgage company that said, we'll give you a check every month from your home equity. And that's one way to get it. It's not the most common anymore. The first way is that we give you a big lump sum check. So if we can get you a reverse mortgage for $500,000 and the property is free and clear, you get a check for $500,000 minus any costs. You can invest that. You can buy a boat. You can do whatever is prudent. I don't do that most of the time. Most of the time, what we're doing is we're opening a line of credit against the house for your future needs. The money's available when you need it. The other thing we can set up is if you just want to bridge that gap every month and you have some liquidity, we can get you a check for $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, whatever it is, and you can set that up for a period of time and or for life. So I hear that a lot. What happens if I pass away? Will my wife be able to stay in the house? And that's a part of those consumer protections I've been talking about. If both spouses are 62 and older, put both of them on the loan, and we underwrite it to the younger borrower's age. That means when one spouse passes away, the survivor is still a borrower with full rights to the property. And one spouse, there's a protection added in 2014, the Eligible Non-Borrowing Spouse Act. As long as they meet HUD requirements, it was a principal residence, they're documented on the loan, and they keep up the taxes and insurance, the loan is deferred and they can remain in the home for life. So even if you have a wife that's 55 years old, she'll remain in the house forever.
Oh, wow.
Let me give you another example. A couple in Lake Forest, he's 91, she's 86. 30 years as a military officer, he's got a large VA pension. When he passes away and he knows he's not going to live forever, that pension gets cut in half.
Oh, wow.
He's up at night worrying about when he passes away that she'll have to sell the home. We're able to get him a reverse mortgage. She'll never have to pay any of that, and they'll have a more dignified life on his pension now, and she'll be able to live on her remaining survivor's pension when he passes away. So that's a great question. You're scared that the loan will grow bigger than your house.
Right.
And that's something you have no control over. So every FHA HECM reverse mortgage, that's the home equity conversion mortgage, carries mortgage insurance. You pay a premium, and that money flows into an insurance pool. The pool is a safety net for everybody. So here's how it works. When the loan comes due and the balance grows larger than the home is worth, it's underwater, the lender doesn't chase the homeowner or family for the difference, made whole out of that insurance pool. And if you're the survivor, the system self-balances. The borrowers who pass away upside down and are underwater, the insurance covers them. For the people who have equity when they pass away, they can sell the house, they've made some interest on that, build that safety net for the overall program. And the program has a lot of cash sitting around for those kinds of issues.
Oh, good to know.
This is the biggest concern that most families have, and it's really a family decision to take on a reverse mortgage. They have no idea what happens to the house. So when the last borrower passes, your heirs have three choices, and this is really what you got to think about. They can sell the house and everybody shares in the proceeds along with the trust plan, or probate. You can refinance the property, and even if it's underwater, you can refinance at 95% of the value of the home, And three, if there's no equity and nobody wants the house, you can just walk away. And a lot of kids do that. They're not
Mhm.
as financially savvy as their parents, and it gives them a way to just be free of the debt. And on timing, HUD gives the heirs 6 months to settle. So mom passes away, you have 6 months to figure it out. And if they see that you're working, it's listed, somebody's actively trying to sell the house, they'll usually give you 2 90-day extensions when they see activity going on. Now, one thing that determines how smooth it goes is if you have a trust plan or if
Mhm.
you're hoping on a will. If you have a trust, the heirs, the beneficiaries of the trust, have access to do a little paperwork and get the property in a short period of time. If it goes into probate, that's 12 to 24 months.
Oh, wow.
That's tough. So your kids might be servicing some debt, dealing with issues, freaking out about paying off their reverse mortgage. Really want to talk to somebody about a trust, and you can comment probate, and I'll get you in touch with somebody who can help you set up a trust plan. It used to be we were reaching out to homeowners. We're trying to find somebody who has a real significant need to get capital from their house. That's why it has a bad rep with some people, is getting old people to get financing that seems like desperation. Now we're going after financial advisors to say, what are you doing when there's a gap? When somebody needs a $2 million retirement package, stocks, bonds, that kind of thing, and they've only got $500,000 sitting in there. I think that's all too common. And the way they deal with that is they might have $1 million house free and clear. Well, let's
Mm.
access some of that in order to balance and give them more dignity. That's a great question. And a lot of people are confused about what they're going to do. How long am I going to live? When I was 48, and I didn't think that I'd live past 70 or anything like that.
Okay.
But I've got these two clients that are in their 90s and they're spry and happy and lively.
Right.
So it's made me rethink about how long I'm going to live. If you take your Social Security at 62, you only get a portion. At
Yeah.
70, you get the full amount. So if we can get you money at 62 to get you to carry on to 70, there's a cost benefit analysis, and we'll
Mm.
do all that math. And I'm not trying to sell anybody on anything. I'm just doing the math for people to show
Yeah,
them
absolutely.
these are the facts. And
Right.
if you want to go along with it, I'm here to hold your hand and give you a bear hug, and we'll go through and get to the finish line. If it doesn't work for you and you think you're going to pass away at 69 like your grandparents, well, then we'll have a different conversation, and I'll say, hurrah, take your Social Security.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So your home might be the biggest single asset that you own. When you were working hard, your trophy on the wall was going to be, I paid off my house. I
Right.
sent the mortgage back to the mortgage company. I no longer have any debt. Well, how do you spend that? When you have a wedding for your grandkids, can you just give them the deed to the house and tell them to go pay for the bills? You can't.
Right.
And so while it's great to have that trophy on the wall, are you using that as something that you hand to your children? Do you want your children to have this big asset, or do you want to have the most dignified retirement? And a lot of people are making that decision. I care about more about my golden years and what I've
Right.
worked really hard for,
Right.
rather than my grandson Jimmy, who's just looking at me as a gold coin to cash when I pass
ATM.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had a couple of kids who fought the reverse mortgage, and it was really more about their inheritance than mom. And I had one client, she said, well, where am I going to live when mom passes away? Right in front of mom, while we were consulting about doing a reverse mortgage and giving them more leverage to live now. Me and my partner were just sitting there saying nothing because we didn't really know what to say. I asked her, do you have the cash to be able to give mom $3,000 when her car has a big problem? What if you guys need a new air conditioner? Are you going to pull that together and put that money together? If you're not prepared to take care of your mom or your dad, the reverse mortgage might be the way for them to take care of themselves in a way that you're just not willing to. And at the end, when your parents pass away, you'll be more in grief than dealing with finances. Let your mom and dad have dignity in their life. If you're 62 and older, the first thing is to know what your house is worth. But do you know what your equity could actually do? That's what we really do. We look at how much you owe, how much it's worth, how much you could get out of the house if you wanted to. And then it's really over to a financial advisor. Like, if you're 72, how long do you have to plan for? And what is your plan? And have you talked to somebody who's gone through those numbers and figured out how aggressive you need to be with stocks and bonds in order to make it 10, 15 years. That's really the big thing. I'll give you a little bit of information, but I want you to get with a financial advisor who's going to find a solution for you to get from here to your finish line with the most dignity.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dusty. It was wonderful to talk with you and learn about reverse mortgages. How does someone get a hold of you?
Yeah, so my cell phone is always on, 949-371-5363. And my email address is dlloyd@promiseloans.com. We're here
Th-
for you.
Thank you so much, Dusty. See you next time.